In 2005, the Houston CIO Executive Summit recognized a little-known Houston nonprofit which had an innovative yet powerful solution. Train inner-city high school students with IT skills and engage them to work in corporations, and at the same time provide valuable and cost-effective resources to improve productivity and morale in IT department. At the time, just a handful of companies were engaged, so the CIO community was asked to embrace this program so that they come to realize that they can succeed as a professional. And embrace it, you did.
This program is geared towards students who might not normally get this opportunity. It's a great program. Lisa Baldwin shows us how this program called Genesys Works works.
Luis De Leon went from working at a fast food place to the IT department of Continental Airlines. Students are taught IT skills that corporations have a need for.
Well, the program is not only here in Houston anymore, and it is set to expand all over the country. We'll tell you about those new plans and an amazing honor Genesys Works received just last week. That's coming up tonight at 6. Tom Abrams, 13 Eyewitness News.
A program here in Houston is helping teenagers from low-income families to get a real taste of the American dream.
Yeah, it's amazing what a good job and a steady paycheck will do to some idle teens, changing lives, keeping these teenagers on the path to success here.
Teen unemployment at the highest recorded level since the Labor Department started that tracking it in 1948. There is a bright spot, though, a new program, and we're going to talk about it right now. NBC's Janet Samuelin is in Houston, Texas.
There are jobs available for students with the right training. We're at the United Space Alliance. This is a large NASA contractor. They do everything from making spacesuits for the astronauts to outfitting their personal laptops they take on the shuttle. And they have tapped into a program called Genesys Works that essentially trains high schoolers who might not be going to college for technical jobs at Fortune 500 companies. And really, it pairs market needs very well. It trains these students. It gives the Fortune 500 companies like USA, like Kinder Morgan here in Houston, Continental Airlines, El Paso, Reliant Energy, a reasonably priced workforce. It's a different way about going about the recruiting process. And this company, Genesys Works, has now moved into the Twin Cities. They'll be doing this in Chicago next year. They've received a lot of support from the Accenture Corporation. It's just a unique way, Aaron, of meeting the needs of the students and of these companies.
90% of Genesys grads go on to college.
Reaching America's highest office.
Wow. If anyone would have told me 4 years ago that I'd be standing here in the White House, I would have thought they were crazy. In fact, when Rafael Alvarez, the president and founder of Genesys Works, who's here with me today, called me on Friday evening and told me I might be doing this, I thought he was crazy. My name is Vanessa Nunez. I am 19 years old, and I have been participating in a program called Genesys Works since my junior year in high school in Houston, Texas. I have just finished my freshman year in college, and it is because of my experience with Genesys Works that I can tell you my story, an unusual story about hope, opportunity, and change. Being in Genesys Works has taught me about leadership, teamwork, technical computer skills, and how to be a professional. But most importantly, it has taught me that I can succeed as a professional in the corporate world, a world I never imagined I could be a part of. At 17, my life was typical for someone growing up in my neighborhood. I went to school and I babysat my little sister. I had a part-time job to help my mom pay the bills, but sometimes I wouldn't get home until 1 or 2 in the morning. My life was busy, stressed, and I was so tired that I slept through many of my classes. The classes didn't seem to have meaning in my life. Who cared about geometry when I can be making $6 an hour? Had I not joined Genesys, my life could have been typical. Minimum wage, maybe 2 jobs, no benefits, no vacations, no holidays off, and a lifetime of living paycheck to paycheck. But Genesys Works changed all of that. After 8 weeks of intense training in computers, I was assigned to work at Marathon Oil as a computer technician. All of a sudden, a whole new world opened up to me, being a professional. I had no idea I could enjoy my job so much, get holidays off, and get paid for them. Going to work became so much more exciting. The people at Marathon were always surprised about how much I knew about computers. I wasn't like some typical high school student just hanging out. I actually knew what I was doing. This was a great feeling. My mom always taught my sisters and me to work hard. As a single mom who immigrated from Mexico, she has worked hard as a waitress. She's worked 6 to 7 days a week for the last 20 years. Our family has spent most birthdays and Christmases without her because she usually has to work. It was Genesys that showed me there can be a different path. I now have great optimism about where my life is going. I am in college and I'm going to finish. In fact, my goal is to increase my grades beyond a 3.0 and win a scholarship from Marathon that's worth $15,000. I'm actually hoping that by being here today, President Obama may put in a good word for me. So. I'm not sure which profession I will pursue, but I do know that I want to inspire my younger sister to stay in school, stay out of trouble, and to follow me to college into a life where we can all have Christmas off and celebrate birthdays together. Genesys Works gave me opportunity and training. It opened doors and opened my eyes to a new world. It gave me self-confidence and a new future to think about and work towards. I have just been elected president of the Genesys alumni. I know it's not quite like being president of the United States, but I'm getting there.
Right now, in communities across America, people are hard at work developing and running programs that could be the next Harlem Children's Up or the next Genesys Works. If we empower organizations like these, think about the number of young people like Vanessa and Richard whose lives we can change.
And now, Genesys Works is spreading to other professions throughout America. The fact is clear. When CIOs get behind something, things happen. So now, imagine what we can, what we must do together. Engage a whole new generation of students coming through our urban schools into the professions that our businesses need in America this century. America's future depends on it.